What does the Apple Watch have to offer the everyday runner? Let's take a look. Hello, fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather, and I am glad you are here. Now, if you're like me, you're not sporting a Garmin or a Coros, but you are sporting one of these, an Apple Watch. Now, we know the Apple Watch really prides itself on its technological functions. The reason that I have one is because I can easily connect it to my iPhone and then do a lot of functions without having to pull my phone out. For instance, I can take phone calls, answer text messages, I can control my podcasts, my music, and of course, track my running, all on my watch without having to get the phone out. So definite benefit for me since I am an Apple user. It just kind of functions across all of my stuff and is really convenient for me. But most people are going to be sporting things that are a sport watch, things that are made specifically for runners and for athletes. Now, Apple has really been priding themselves on the technology of this, but does not have much of a corner on the sport market. This doesn't mean, however, that they are not useful for the everyday runner. Now, Apple has recently introduced the Apple Ultra, which they are marketing as a more athlete-friendly version of the Apple Watch. And of course, a lot of people I know have been trying that out. I've not had an opportunity to check it out for myself, but I will do so in the future. With all of the great things that an Apple Watch can do, there are some drawbacks to it as well, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its uses if you are a runner. We'll be talking about some of the great things that the watch can do and some things that it doesn't quite do as well. So if you're on the fence about whether or not to get an Apple Watch as opposed to a dedicated sports watch, or maybe if you are an Apple Watch owner and you don't really know how to use it for your running, then maybe this can help you out. Now, as I mentioned, one of the biggest benefits of using an Apple Watch is that it integrates easily with the iPhone, the iPad, and the iMac, which is the system that I tend to use for myself. And it's really, really useful for that. If you want to switch from one platform to another, I can get notifications from any of my other Apple products onto my watch and deal with it right then. So it's great for that. It's also wonderful if you are a YouTuber like me. I can use it to control the camera, so I can set a camera up somewhere and then use this to start and stop the camera as I go by in order to get some action shots. So it's useful for different things like that as well. Of course, the biggest drawback to the Apple Watch, especially when you compare it to more dedicated sports brands, is the battery life. Now, they have tried to improve it with every single iteration of the Apple Watch, and especially with the Apple Watch Ultra. However, this is not one that you can go for many, many days and sometimes weeks without recharging like you can with other sports watches. The Apple Watch needs to be charged every day, and if you are using the GPS function in order to track your run, then the battery runs down much faster. This does work from what I have experienced for shorter runs all the way up to a marathon. In fact, the longest that I have been able to use this Apple Watch was for an Ultra. However, it did not get the entire 50K. After about 7 or so hours, it just completely ran out of juice. I suppose I could have charged it at the turnaround point, but that would have been several more minutes off of my time. It's not something that I was willing to do. I wasn't willing to sacrifice a few minutes for that. And so thankfully, I also was tracking on my phone in my pocket as well. So I was able to keep up with my distance and my time on my watch for a while, but it did run out of battery very quickly. So if you are looking to do anything longer than a marathon or anything longer than, say, 7 hours, an Apple Watch is definitely not going to be for you. And even if you are using it for shorter runs, keep in mind that this is something that you will have to recharge daily. Another drawback that some people may have seen is that with other watches, you can take training plans and send them directly to your watch. And that way your coach can just send you a plan, you stick it into your watch, and you're good to go. Now, Apple does not have that function as of yet, but this doesn't mean that you cannot customize different workouts for your watch. You cannot right now put it on your phone and then take it to your watch, but you can go directly into the watch to program a workout. Let's take a look at that now. So let's take a quick look at how you can program a workout into your Apple Watch. Now, when you scroll through all of your workout activities, there's everything from indoor running to hiking to swimming to skating. And normally when you just click on the activity, it will start your 3, 2, 1 countdown and off you go on your way for an open goal. However, if you want to do something custom, just click on these 3 dots up in the corner. they'll give you some suggested workouts, such as different race routes that you will typically run. You can customize a certain time, a distance, a pace, how many calories you want to burn. There are several pre-programmed workouts that are in there. However, today we're going to go for custom so I can put in what's on my training plan. So I go up to suggested and say I'm going to do a custom routine. So there are some pre-programmed custom workouts that are in there for you that you can alter as you need. But I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to create my own workout. Now I can have an open goal. I can train by calories, by distance. Today I'm going to go by time. Now I could just have an open time for say 1 hour or an hour and a half, but I'm going to scroll all the way down to custom so that I can put it in the way it is on my plan. I'm going to go to warm up, and my warm up says to go for 45 minutes. So I'm going to go to time and I'm going to set it for 45 minutes for my warm up. You just scroll through until you get to the number that you want and then tell it that you're good to go. After that, you can take a look at alerts and it will let you know if you are not meeting a certain pace, a certain heart rate, a certain cadence, then it will give you an alert to let you know to pick up the pace. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm just going to be keeping things nice and easy. So I've got my warm-up set up and ready to go, and now I'm going to add some strides that my coach wants me to do at the end. So for my work section, I'm going to go for time. He wants me to do some hard runs for 20 seconds. So I will input that into my watch, 20 seconds and done. And then I'm going to add my recovery period. My coach wants me to do a 1 minute recovery at a slightly easier pace for 1 minute after each one. Now he doesn't want me to just do one of these strides. He would like me to do several. So I'm going to go to add and repeat. You're going to click everything that you want repeated in one section. And I'm going to tell it 4 repeats is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go straight to the cool down. You can skip it or do it again for time, distance, or just an open cool down. I'm going for time because my training plan calls for a 10-minute cool down, which is already pre-programmed in. No alerts are needed, so I've got everything in for my cool down. So I am just going to say we're good there. And there we go. My entire workout has been programmed into my watch. Now I'm going to give it a custom title so that I can remember exactly which easy run this is. I usually do that by putting whatever today's date is on there so I can keep it straight with what's going on my training plan. But I add that in and it will save it for me. And we are good to go. So if I look at that, my workout has been created. And now I've got it in with my custom runs under outdoor run. So when I'm scrolling through, I just go to those dots. I'm going to scroll through and there it is, the run that I just programmed into my watch. Now what's great about this is that it will go right into it. It will give me time left on each area. It'll give me how long the interval has been. I'll get my heart rate. And when I'm done, it gives me this nice little notification at the end and then switches to an open run. Now, here's another fun feature that has been added to the Apple Watch is while you are in a workout, you can scroll up and see what zone your heart rate is in. So if you are heart rate training and you're needing to stay within a certain heart rate zone, then you can swipe up really quick to see where you are. So there's just a couple of ways that you can use the Apple Watch to kind of help you with your running routines. Now, all of this information does get sent to the health app on your iPhone. And so if you need more information about cadence and pace and VO2 and so on, then that's all going to be found there in that app. Now, a couple of other things to consider while you are using the Apple Watch is that, first of all, a lot of the information that you get from it is based off of an average of both your activity and average activity for someone that is your size and your age. So just like with any other watch, if you need a more accurate VO2, then you're going to have to go and do some actual VO2 testing. Also keep in mind that just like many other sport watches, the heart rate is kind of an estimated idea of what your heart rate would be, and so that is going to affect some of the heart rate zones that you are going to find on your watch. As usual, it can be a lot more effective if you have some sort of a chest strap that is monitoring you, and the Apple Watch does connect to many Bluetooth chest straps, so that could be something else that you would want to check for yourself. One final thing that I should note is that the calories that are burned are also usually a little bit inaccurate on most Apple Watches. I know they've been working on trying to get that a little bit better and more accurate. However, most of the time the Apple Watch will say that you have burned about 50% less than you have actually burned. So take whatever the Apple Watch says you have burned as far as your calories and go up by 50%, and you get a little bit more accurate count of where you are as far as burning calories. So yes, while there are some significant drawbacks to using an Apple Watch as opposed to a sports watch, especially if you are very deeply connected to the numbers, if you tend to be more of a data geek and you really want those numbers in order to kind of shape your workouts and your training plan, then the Apple Watch may not be the best choice for you. However, if you are like me and you are mostly using it for the technological aspects and then also using it as a tracker on the side, then this definitely works very well. I'm very happy with mine. I've been using an Apple Watch for several years now, and I really don't have any complaints other than the short battery life. So what kind of sport watch do you use? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below. You could also give this video a big thumbs up. Both of those help me get out to more runners and walkers just like you. You could also subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps keep you up to date on all the running adventures that I'm having all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you could join me. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. See you later.